Hello and welcome back to How About That Crypto. You're watching your almost daily crypto news and updates with your host, Bitcoin Stylist on Twitter. And I am here throughout the week to give you news and updates on crypto and Web3. Today's news and update is that the crypto crash continues. Voyager digital files for bankruptcy. What does this mean? Not to worry, I'm going to explain it. But first, if you like or don't like the content, please let me know by leaving a comment below. If you're listening on podcast, please give me 5 stars and follow me. If you're watching on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button, ring the bell. It helps support the channel and it doesn't cost you anything. Just to be clear and litigious, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. You can use the links below to do your own research. All right. So I'm just going to jump right in and not make this go on all for as long as normal. It's a quick update, but it's a super important one. I had more good news to share, and so I guess we'll have to do that tomorrow, barring any sort of crazy thing happening. All right. So if you're watching on YouTube, you're listening at you're looking at prnewswire.com. It's a press release provided by Voyager Digital. It's titled Voyager Digital commences financial restructuring process to maximize value for all stakeholders. So this is good because we talked about how BlockFi got their bailout from Alameda, which is Sam Bankman-Fried's investment arm. He also owns FTX, a major cryptocurrency exchange. He's being seen as like the bailout person, kind of like JP Morgan was in the early 1900s, or how Warren Buffett was during 2008 market collapse. So BlockFi had a deal that said that would protect customer assets and versus just enriching the shareholders. So that caused a stink, and now FTX can buy it for $240 million, even though it was valued at $3 billion at one point. Anyway, so it seems like BlockFi might be safe for now. Don't get your hopes up, but hopefully, if worst case scenario, they get acquired and they get kind of rolled into the FTX world, and that your assets are safe. I personally moved almost basically everything off of BlockFi. All right, so now Voyager Digital, and we knew Voyager Digital was having problems. So let's check this out. Says here, they file a voluntary petition for Chapter 11 protection to implement restructuring proposed plan of reorganization, create efficient path to resume account access and return values to customers. Voyager has approximately $1.3 billion of crypto assets on the platform, more than $350 million of cash held in the FBO, which is for benefit of account for customers at the Metropolitan Commercial Bank, and claims against Three Arrows Capital of more than $650 million. It says today, July 5th, so a couple days ago, announced that it has commenced a voluntary Chapter 11 process to maximize value for all stakeholders. As part of this process, the company and its main subsidiaries filed voluntary petitions for reorganization. And it says Chapter 11. Bankruptcy for reorganization in the Ontario Superior Court of Justice. So I have no idea. And the Southern District of New York. The comprehensive reorganization is the best way to protect assets on the platform and maximize value for all stakeholders, including customers, says the CEO. Voyager's platform was built to empower investors by providing access to crypto assets trading with simplicity, speed, liquidity, and transparency. Well, that's great. How about being transparent and telling your customers that you put 50% of your loan book into one hedge fund? How is that? That's ridiculous. It's not safe at all to do that with anything. 50% of all your money in one asset. I mean, that's a gamble. You might have done that with your crypto, but that's a gamble. Even leaving in dollars can be a gamble. While I strongly believe in this future, the prolonged volatility and contagion in the crypto markets over the past few months and the default of Three Arrows Capital on a loan from the company's subsidiary, Voyager Digital, require us to take deliberate and decisive action now. The Chapter 11 process provides an efficient and equitable mechanism to maximize recovery. Well, they didn't mention that they made bad decisions. I think this bad decision. Do you agree or disagree? I mean, do you think that they, that it sounds like they were doing the best job to protect the, to manage risk when they're putting 50% of their loan book into one hedge fund? A hedge fund. Hedge funds are risky in nature, and you gave 50% of your loan book to one. If you want to do it, spread it across multiple hedge funds. You have a better chance of success. Anyway, I mean, or other places. I don't know. Anyway, so let's keep moving. The proposed plan of reorganization, or the plan, would, upon implementation, resume account access and return value to customers. Under this plan, which is subject to change given ongoing discussions with other parties, aka the shareholders and investors in the company, it requires court approval. Customers with crypto in their accounts will receive in exchange a combination of the crypto in their accounts, proceeds from the 3AC recovery, if they ever get anything, common shares in the newly reorganized company, and Voyager tokens. Voyager tokens will probably collapse. There'll probably be a ton of people trying to sell and get their money out of fear that Voyager is not going to successfully be able to turn this thing around. The second they open, that's my prediction anyway. The plan contemplates an opportunity for customers to elect the proportion of common equity and crypto they will receive, subject to certain maximum thresholds. So this is interesting. So because you're technically a creditor, and I'm on Voyager as well. So because I'm technically a creditor, like it's almost like I lent them my crypto for them to use to go and take risky bets. And I guess I understand the need for transparency so much, because if I would have known that, I wouldn't have put as much money. Luckily, I personally pulled like 60% off of this platform. But the other 40%, I don't know if I'm going to get it back. It's kind of a bummer, because like, why did I leave it on there? I was reporting you and telling you that it's risky and it's teetering. And I just like wanted to write it out, thinking that Sam Bankman-Fried was going to come to the rescue. And and I have no idea what happened with that. He gave a $600 million loan, and then they filed for bankruptcy the next week. So what's that all about? Anyway, customers with USD deposits in their accounts, so if you have dollars, then you'll receive access to the funds after reconciliation and fraud prevention process. So because they're FDIC insured, and your dollars, any dollars you had, you should get back, but it's going to take some time. The company continues to evaluate all strategic alternatives to maximize value for stakeholders. So hopefully I get some of my money back. I just want my Bitcoin back. Why did I left my Bitcoin? I don't know. I feel so stupid. Yes. And here's last but not least, the company has over 110 million of cash and owned crypto assets on hand, which will provide liquidity to support day-to-day operations during Chapter 11 process. In addition to more than 350 million of cash held in the for benefit of customers account at the Metropolitan Commercial Bank, Voyager also has approximately 1.3 billion of crypto assets on a platform, plus claims against Three Arrows Capital of more than $650 million. So it says, yeah, so that's what's happening. They're trying to get you some of your money back, but you might end up getting to have some equity in Voyager Digital. I think that's cool. I'll take some. I think I already own Voyager Voyager Digital is a publicly traded company, and it's not doing well. Let's see here. No chart available, of course, right? Okay, here we go. So yeah, the stock has been performing poorly. It was trading as high as $16 in November, and it's down to, do I see this right? 26 cents. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Well, there you go. So on that note, I am going to play you a little clip real quick. This is cbsnews.com. Just check this out.
What happens to a customer's assets if one of these crypto companies has to file for bankruptcy?
Well, I think it's
Sorry, hold on one second. I need to turn the sound on.
dependent upon the different cryptocurrency.
Bankruptcy protections here. So
Here
what
you go.
happens to a customer's assets if one of these crypto companies has to file for bankruptcy?
Well, I think it's dependent upon the different cryptocurrency, and what we're trying to tell our clients is you got to stay focused on long-term assets that can produce cash flow. And with the cryptocurrency environment right now, it's just not something that we're interested in putting client assets into. It's it's an unknown asset class. It popped up 5 or 10 years ago, got really popular in a low interest rate environment. People had cash to spend, and they're putting it in speculative places. And this is just the latest example of potentially a situation where you've got assets tied up in something that perhaps is more speculative than the average investor thought it was.
So, a lot of people were saying, I really want to wait.
That's interesting. First of all, he doesn't know how long crypto's been around because it's been around longer than 5 or 10 years. Not much more than 10 years, but still. And he is correct. It is a speculative asset because we don't know what the true value is. So price is going to be fluctuating until we figure it out. We talk about that plenty. So I'm just going to press play again.
Till crypto cools off to get into this asset class. Now it's obviously cooling off. Is this a buying opportunity for those people, or do you think people should just stay away for the time being?
It depends on the investor. It's a great question. It's so specific to each person. But if you're a type of person that wants to take risk and is speculative in nature, then you can go ahead and do that if it suits your portfolio in a certain percentage. For most people, they're not going to understand the intricacies, how it works, how you can get your money back, what happens in defaults of certain situations. So I think for the general population, it's probably not something that deserves a position in a portfolio. But for speculative investors, that's exactly what it is. And
right.
You should just know the risk going in.
All right, know the risks. All right.
All right, know the risks. Well, so that's the news today. I won't take up any more of your time. And I want to say thanks for watching. And I hope you had a good holiday weekend and you have a good summer ahead of you. If you're in another part of the world where it's the opposite, then I hope that you have a good winter, because I'm assuming that's what's going on. What do you think about this news? Voyager Digital crashing. You got this guy looked pretty young. Money managers being like, ha ha ha, told you so. You shouldn't, it doesn't belong in anybody's balance sheet. All that kind of sentiment and attitude is back like it was before. And so do you think that's going to stick around? When do you think crypto will come back? Do you think crypto will come back? What are you buying? What are you holding? Where is your stuff at? Do you have stuff on Voyager? Let me know. Leave a comment below. I want to hear from you. Have a good day. Hodl on.